From breaking people in whiskers are we,
Like Veronica, but how a cat would say it.
to test actors' resolve and showcase spokesmodels. Here are moments when Kristen Wiig broke down people on SNL. When Kristen Wiig and Kate McKinnon share a scene, it's never about the script. It's about who breaks first. And in Whiskers Are We? They didn't even make it a full minute.
A cat is a pillow that hugs you back. Cats are the croutons on the salad of life. A cat is an angel that poops in a box.
It starts off simple. Cat puns, weird names, classic SNL chaos.
Alan is a Himalayan, and you can find Himalayan on the couch.
But then, Kate drops a perfectly timed joke.
You should do stand-up. You're a regular Cat Williams.
If you laugh at a cat joke, you clearly have a bright future in stand-up. Kristen attempts to stay on track, but when it comes to Carl the cat, within seconds, she goes completely off script.
This one is Carl. We're mad at Carl right now because he's been very naughty. He clawed up my sofa, and then he voted for Jill Stein.
And then she takes her joke one step further.
The little asswipe. He deserves a pinch. That is my nipple, and I think you know that.
At this point, the sketch isn't about cats anymore, and I don't know how they pull themselves together.
This is Dizzy. Dizzy is into S&M. Saucers of milk.
It's clearly the last push Kate needs to fully destroy Kristen. Saucers and milk. Who would have guessed that? And if you thought the Whiskers Are We fiasco was bad, just wait until you see what happened when Kristen teamed up with Heidi Gardner in Secretaries.
Only 2 more days till church.
Tootie, would you mind picking up,
Your son from daycare? Got him right here.
Well, Tootie, I don't have a son.
It starts off relatively normal, a boss introducing his 2 not-so-helpful secretaries. And then, within seconds, boom.
Hiya, boys. Hiya, Trudy. Happy Friday. Only 2 more days till church.
Tootie, would you mind picking up,
Your son from daycare? Got him right here.
Sure, maybe Tootie's a little too eager to help, but accidentally bringing home a random child? That's a new level of efficiency. And John Hamm? He was not ready for this. She makes matters worse because she not only breaks other characters, but actual furniture too.
Tootie, I know you're new, but I'd really like you to
Just kick my feet up and take a load off? Now that I can do.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
She just fell right through her desk.
Yeah.
At this point, we've seen Kristen Wiig physically destroy a sketch, falling through a desk, sending her skirt flying, and breaking her co-stars in the process. But what happens when she teams up with Fred Armisen for a musical performance? Well, Weekend Update found out the hard way. The second they walk in, it's already a problem.
Sorry.
We know. We're sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You guys aren't even late.
I don't know how many times we can apologize to you.
They're late, they're flustered, and somehow they have a full Mother's Day album ready. And just introducing the first song is chaotic.
Well, that's great. I'm really glad to hear you're prepared this time.
Are we ever?
So prepared. You know.
And we are really excited to sing For and Near You.
And this first one's called Mom, you're the bomb.
Seth Meyers is already breaking. Because if you've ever seen a Garth and Kat sketch, you know what's coming. And so does he. The moment they start singing, the host can't even let them finish.
One word, 2 words, 1 word. Connection. Why didn't you tell me? Connection.
Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta stop you. I hate to stop you guys.
I don't blame Seth for that. The song's offbeat, off-key, and somehow getting worse by the second. But then they introduce the next song.
It's called
There's every time for mothers, but there's no time for the non-mothers. You know what? Because I got a good feeling about everything they say, but no one's gonna tell you the difference.
Wait, all right. That's the title?
That's the title.
This isn't even about the lyrics anymore. The sheer length of the title is the joke now, but they keep going, and at one point, even Fred can't hold it together anymore. Kristen tries, but the second she sees everyone else cracking up, the facade falls.
By the time they know they're the same people as always.
No!
Because it's a real thing. A real one. You know it.
At this point, we're watching 3 people trying to escape their own bit and failing miserably. And somehow, there's still one more song to go.
This one's called Mom's Jam. Hit it.
Well, I mean, this is fantastic.
Thank you for taking me to the dentist all the time.
I fell for it again.
All the time.
Guard the cat, everyone.
Seth physically gives up. Head down, no recovery. Kristen and Fred still rambling. Some performers try to keep the host composed. Garth and Kat do the opposite. When they came back on the show for their Christmas album, they didn't even make it through a single song. For about 3 seconds, they almost seem in sync. But then, disaster. Kristen cracks first. Fred follows immediately.
Sorry.
They're laughing harder than anyone in the audience. After a few failed attempts, they somehow get to the final song. And this time, they are barely getting the words out.
December 25th, it's a snowy miracle.
This is really pretty.
But when the postman made the stamp on every from Santa.
It's not even a song anymore. Just 2 people gasping for air, trying to recover from their own joke. Maybe Seth joined in an attempt to save the song, but there's no coming back from that. At this point, SNL should have known better. Kristen Wiig in a soap opera parody with over-the-top accents, dramatic stares, and ridiculous plot twists? Yeah, this was never going to end well. And sure enough, it completely falls apart.
She was my California dream. But that dream died. She was driving too fast down Ocean Avenue. Then she turned right past shutters on the beach. Then she drove straight off the Santa Monica Pier.
The scene is supposed to be serious. Stewart is mourning his wife, his California dream girl, Karina. But then, in walks Kristen Wiig,
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Brad, the male gardener. The landscape company sent me to trim back your rosemary toppers.
The second Stewart sees her ridiculous hat, he's done. He tries to stay in character, but his face completely gives him away. Now, The Californians is already a dangerous sketch. The exaggerated accents alone are enough to make anyone lose it. But Kristen? She turns it up to 100.
I told the driver to get us lost, so we drove around Glendale for months.
Why did you come back?
I had to see you last time before I disappeared again. Forever.
You belong here with me in Southern California.
You make me so happy, Stuart. You're so cute.
Imagine someone talking to you with an accent like that. There's no way I could stay in character. No one can deal with full-blown California nonsense. And speaking of SNL sketches that turned into pure chaos, next up, Seth Meyers gets completely blindsided by Kristen's absurdity. Kristen doesn't even need a full sentence to take him down. The moment she opens her mouth and that over-the-top southern drawl comes out, it's over.
Co-owns with her brother. Here to talk about it is Paula Deen.
How's your mom and them all? They all good? They doing good?
Seth is already laughing through her introduction. This man knows what's coming, and there is nothing he can do to stop it.
The manager of your restaurant claims that your brother sexually harassed her and that you said racist things.
Now, Kristen could have just answered the question, but nope. Because her version of events, it all comes down to her sugars.
These allegations seem pretty serious to me.
Okay, let me tell you what, Seth. This has been a doozy of a year. It started with me getting hit with what my mama calls the sugars.
I think when you say the sugars, you mean diabetes?
I guess that's what Northerners call it.
I, for one, could not have known those were called her sugars. And Seth is done. Because how do you keep a straight face when Paula Deen is being that absurd? Somehow Kristen finds a way to make things worse. She casually explains how she went from an innocent search to ending up on a completely inappropriate website.
Okay.
Well, next thing you know, I'm looking at two young men shaking their dang-a-langs just as fast as you can imagine being shook at you. You ever have that happen to you, Sam?
No, not recently. Now,
What's with the butter? Seth tries to fight it, but his face betrays him. Because this wasn't a scripted moment. It was a full-on ambush, and then Kristen drops the most absurd response possible to Paula Deen's biggest scandal.
Paula, what about the very serious allegation? The very serious allegation of you using the N-word.
Hot butter and all, Sam? Which N-word is she talking about? There's a whole bunch of N-words.
Well, the bad one.
Like nutrition.
No.
Seth, laughing before she even finishes. The delivery, the body language, the absolute lack of self-awareness. It's a masterclass in saying the worst thing in the best way.
Nutrition's pretty bad.
No, it's not nutrition. It's the really, really, really bad one.
I would rather diet and exercise than use the N-word.
Paula Deen, everyone!
Seth can't even look at her. His job is to keep the segment moving, but instead, he's just trying to breathe. Now, we've seen Kristen Wiig destroy Seth Meyers with Paula Deen, Garth and Kat, and every other absurd character imaginable. But this time, she took it to an entirely new level. Because in this weekend update appearance, the topic alone was enough to break the room.
Glamour magazine recently profiled a group of women who suffer from a rare condition called PGAD, or persistent genital arousal disorder, an actual condition in which women experience numerous unwanted orgasms.
Sounds medical, sounds serious. But what would you do if it just happened?
Well, luckily, with the help of my physician, I was able to find treatment. And today, I can say that I'm fully...
You've got to hand it to her. She's such a great actor. She didn't even have to say anything, and we already know what's happening. But this script was so absurd, she herself broke character more times than you could count.
Sorry. I am fully... One sec, okay. I'm fine. Wait a minute.
Every attempt to recover just makes it worse. And if Seth thought it couldn't get any worse, he was very wrong.
Are you okay?
Yes.
What do you even do in this situation? Even James Bond would crack a smile at this. How do you sit next to Kristen Wiig and not completely lose it? And when you pair her with Bill Hader, forget it. The sketch isn't surviving.
Look at you, more like Scarlett Johansson.
Good nickname.
Everything is going fine. A smooth, casual celebrity interview. Then Scarlett says something absurd.
You know, I've never seen the show, so... I just don't watch a lot of reality television.
That's not just a normal overreaction, a full-on theatrical meltdown. And Scarlett? She's just sitting there, completely caught off guard.
You have great skin. What is your secret?
Not even Kirsten and Bill can stay in character. Poor Scarlett never even stood a chance. And if you thought Kirsten and Bill were a chaotic duo, wait till you watch her with Maya Rudolph. That's like Kirsten times 2.
Right, officer! You'll be golfing all day and leaving before dinner. Go to see Pebble Beach. And that's not all. You'll be a real swinger with these. It's a nice matching golf club by golf club guy. 4.
Of course, Bill and Vanessa broke character. Even Kirsten knew how hilarious this was.
Imagine years after years after years of chicken. Right at your fingertips. Tickle, tickle. Each chicken looks as good as this one. That's a chicken man guarantee. If your man likes chicken, you might like chicken.
But it keeps getting worse, to the point where Kirsten can't even say her lines.
Shonda, wait, no, there's more.
There is? Wanda! Come back! There's another showcase gift in your card! Right, I think just back up!
And it kept getting more chaotic. Watch what happens next.
It's always time for close on Roblox!
That wasn't supposed to happen. I hope you had fun today.
I would be on the floor at this point, and you should be subscribed at this point as well.